What's going on, guys? Ronin here. So we're about 6 months into the year, and I thought it was time for a mid-year update video, as there's been a lot that's been happening in the backgrounds that I haven't really discussed with anybody outside of the people that I've collabed with on YouTube. So I figured it was time to bring you guys into the fold to let you know what's going on, where the channel stands, where I wanted it to stand, and the projects that I have, since how we're leading into the summer. But before we get into that, make sure you guys check out the analytics on the channel, as every video that gets a like will help feed the algorithm so we can get to a larger audience. But with all that being said, I got this broken down into different categories, and I'm going to try and keep it as short and condensed as possible so that way we don't run on too long. So let's get into it. All right, so the first thing that we got for today is going to be the goals that I have for the channel. So over the last 2 years, we've pretty much been able to hit 5K in new subscribers per year, which I thought was a pretty obtainable goal. But unfortunately, with this year, things have just been down. And by down, you'll see what I mean in a second. Because on the screen, you're going to see the current subscriber count for the channel, which is 11,100, just past the 100 mark as of today, the time of filming this. Now, while that number may seem impressive, over the last 2 years of growth, at this point in the year, I probably would have seen around 2 to 3K worth of growth. And the channel has kind of slowed down a little bit. I do fully recognize it's a little bit of my fault, because older stories that I've had going on for too long, they're not wrapped up yet. And it's stuff that needs to be finished. To say that I'm a little bit disappointed with the growth of the channel as of recently would be an understatement, but that's okay, because over the course of the summer, I do have some things that are going to remedy it, because I do want to hit 15K by the end of the year. So I'm going to have to start pushing harder, and hopefully we can make up any of the momentum that we lost, and we can get back into that range for 15K by the end of the year, because that was my personal goal heading into 2023. I wanted to do at minimum another 5K. Unfortunately, it looks like we're struggling with it. But as you guys can see by the analytics, things have kind of slowed down. And I know you guys will say, oh, well, it looks like your subscriber to unsubscriber count is pretty good. It's pretty even, which that's actually a bad thing in the course of YouTube. You always want the people that are not subscribed to be higher than the subscribe count, because that means that your content is finding a new audience, and at this current time it's struggling to do that. So that's gonna have to be something that I personally am gonna have to work on, but I need you guys to help like the videos to push them out, so that way we can get to a larger audience. But with all that being said, let's talk about what's going to happen and the changes that I'm going to be making to the channel, so that way we can help push to a bigger audience. So after some digging into the channel and reviewing some of my analytics, there's been a couple of things that have been popping out to me. And one thing is when my subscribers are actually viewing content. One of the things that I've noticed, if you take a look at this bar right here, is that, well, most of my subscribers are active on Saturdays. They're not actually active on Friday mornings. So with that being said, I'm going to be changing the release schedule for the primary videos on the channel to Saturdays at 10 a.m. PST. And the reason for that is because I feel like it would have a better audience and gain more traction if I made that shift. Because if you can see just by this graph, that majority of my people that watch are hitting on Saturday during that time. And it's even larger on Sunday, but I feel like Sunday would be too late. So just by pushing it forward one day, I think that it's going to make a huge impact on how the content can reach the people that are actually subscribed to the channel. That way we can start fueling the algorithm. But that leaves a spot on Fridays open. And well, I had to think about that long and hard. And you see, I think that the best way to remedy that is to continue the What If Ash started with Mew series, but up into 3 parts a week. So it'll be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. After looking over that series and how quickly it's progressing, I've come to a realization that if I don't up the parts, well, it's gonna run through the end of the year, and that was never my intention. So starting in the month of June, we're gonna be shifting to 3 parts a week. And the intention is for it to be done by the end of the year. And currently I have all the parts filmed for that up until about September or so. So that's something that's going to continue on, but I want to have it done by the end of 2023. So that way we can move on to another topic. But if you guys haven't watched the shorts, please run on over and just watch them. It's kind of the same format of What If Ash caught Latios, but you just get up to a minute worth of content instead of 40 minutes all in one burst. And it's a great way to help support the channel and help it find newer audiences. But now that we've talked about the shifts that I'm going to make for the scheduling and stuff like that, I want to move on to the actual goals that I have for the summer. So this summer is going to be very busy for me, and there's going to be a couple of reasons why, but we'll get into that a little bit later. My ultimate goals for the summer are going to be that I really want to finish off any lingering series. So we're going to start pushing harder on What If Ash Was Born in Kalos. Gyarados, what if Ash and Paul traveled to Unova, and what if Indigo Champion Ash challenged the Johto League. Those series have been hanging around the channel now for about 2 years, and I feel like it's time that we get some fresh blood into the channel. So those are the oldest series, and I want to make sure we do them right by sending them off right. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to change the format for those yet. Currently, we've been doing about 20-minute episodes for some of them. Some of them are 30-minute episodes, but I really do want to wrap those series up so I can move on to other projects, as there's other things that I feel like we can finish off, and by the end of the summer, it should be a whole new set of blood pumping through the veins of the channel. So with all of that and the spirit of that, some of the things that I want to bring to the channel and I want to finish up are some of the older projects that you guys may not have seen. So about 1.5 years ago, I started this experiment. Didn't really feel panned out, but I got a couple of ideas off of it, and it was known as the What If Wheel. We did 2 episodes of it, and while the concept itself wasn't really that popular, there was one particular what if that I felt like had potential, especially with the way that I started out with it. And that was, what if Brock took the gym challenge? So once I have all this stuff wrapped up with the 3 what ifs that I need to finish off, that's going to be the next what if on the plate to actually tie off, as it's been lingering for well over 1 year, and I feel like that concept, being Brock one of the original characters in the Pokemon anime, is something that could help entice people back to the channel and could help get the viewership up, which is something we always want. Now, with that said, there's one project that I've been teasing on and on and on about for, I'd say, the last 8 to 10 months. And I'm glad to say that we're finally at a point to where it's going to be able to start production very soon. We're talking within the next 30 days. I currently have 1 set of art that I'm waiting on to actually get part 1 off the ground. The script is about 90% done, and I have been in talks with people about the voice casting for a majority of the parts. So that's going to be something coming in the next few months, which you guys may know as the 10K project. I will start dropping reveals as we get closer to the release date on potential subject matter, characters that are going to be involved, and all that things. What I will say is, and I've probably said this before, this is going to be a place where Ash has never visited. So it's going to be a whole new original story, something that you guys are going to probably want to stick around for. I'm very excited about that, and it's also been a little disheartening that it's taken so long, because I've had some issues with some pre-production things and getting things rendered with some of the people I was working with, considering it took longer with some things, and I've had issues with other artists where they just kind of dropped off on me. So I want to make sure I do that right, as this is something that I'm really excited for, and I want to bring it to you guys. But it's coming. I will have it going by the end of the summer, guaranteed. Now, the finale for probably the most popular Pokemon series on YouTube, and well, that's What If Giovanni Sponsored Ash. We got 1 part left, guys. Me and Plus Ultraman, we've been on a wild ride together, and well, it's coming to an end, and this is going to be the final episode of What If Giovanni Sponsored Ash in its original form. Everything that you guys have seen, everything that we've planned, the collab from start to finish, this is what it's been leading up to, and that's going to be the last time that a What If Giovanni Sponsored Ash universe is on my channel for a while. Now, don't get discouraged. It's not to say that I'm not going to be involved with the GSA universe anymore. It's just now it's time that we move on to the next projects, because if you guys haven't already watched the May and Max special that we have going on, as in What If Team Aqua sponsored May, that special is currently going on Pickled Dill's and Dex Comics' channel. So that is a complete tie-in to the GSA universe. And if you guys haven't already figured it out, that's not going to be the only one that we have going on. And the plans that are going to be going forward with the GSA universe are going to be big ones, because just like in the real Pokemon world, the journey never truly ends. GSA will never truly end. I want you guys to stay tuned, because I want you to be part of the ride from start until infinity, because that's where it's going. But we're gonna have to wait. Currently, Pickled Dill is working on the script, and they have been an integral part on getting the last couple of scripts done for both me and Plus Ultraman. They've been working very hard behind the scenes to help us get things in finished, and to help us really give you the best possible story that we possibly can. Plus Ultraman has had a lot of stuff going on with his graduation and things like that, and I've had a lot of stuff going on personally to where where I've been kind of having to take a minimal role with YouTube lately, and we'll talk about that here in a second. I want to make sure that you guys are very clear on this subject. GSA isn't going anywhere. It's just about to hit its next level of evolution. But now let's talk about what's been going on with me. Well, over the last couple of months, things have shifted drastically. You see, for those of you who don't know, my primary profession is in the restaurant industry. And while that can be demanding at times, I've been very fortunate to establish myself as one of the top leaders in the city that I live in, Las Vegas. My store has been consistently at the top of the rankings for the last few years, and it's something that I've been very proud of. It's also what's been allowing me to have the time to do things like this with YouTube, because it doesn't need a lot of attention, and I kind of am left to my own devices on how to operate the restaurant, because I've proven that I can operate it at a high capacity. So with that being said, a couple of months ago, an event in the company happened where the store that's closest to mine lost the RGM. We won't get into details about what happened. We'll just say that the RGM left, and there was a massive void that's been left open with that restaurant. Now, that could be a small problem, especially when you're trying to replace somebody. But the major issue is this isn't the first time that this restaurant has had this issue. It's been a persisting issue now for like the last 3 to 4 years. And I've done what I can without being directly involved to help the restaurant succeed. But unfortunately, it came to the point to where unless I were to physically go in there and start running things myself, building a team and getting the restaurant to capacity and placing a manager there that can, well, manage the restaurant, then it'll always be, for the lack of a better word, a thorn in my side. So back in March, I took on this responsibility, which is right around the time when I started being less active on YouTube as far as posting every day and stuff like that. And it's because it really demanded a lot of attention. I'm not saying that it still doesn't demand a lot of attention, but we've made some great progress in the restaurant, and we're continuing to make progress every day. But for the foreseeable future, this restaurant is going to be part of my work identity. It's going to be something that I have to be involved with, because my goal is to make sure that when I leave there, I'm leaving for good and I never have to come back. There's never another issue. The restaurant is fixed and I can go back to my regular restaurant and be done. I still have my primary restaurant. It's still under my control. The difference is that restaurant runs itself. The management team, the employees there, they all know what to do. And it's because they've been with me for so long. So that's really been the barrier on the work side. So now I'm going from having one job and then YouTube to having 2 jobs in a YouTube, which is essentially like 3 jobs, which is something that you don't really understand until you're actually in that position. Now, with that happening, there's been some changes within the last couple of weeks as far as my personal life too. So me and my wife and my family, we've gone to the point to where we've outgrown where we are. I currently sit in a closet recording this while I'm talking to you. All my videos are recorded inside of the closet in my bedroom. And well, we live in a 3-bedroom apartment in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, over the last couple of months, the tenants have changed, things have changed, and it's just not the same. The management has changed as well, and this is no longer the place where we want to live. So over the last 6 months, I've been trying to find a new place, a house specifically, and I've done that. We've actually signed all the paperwork. We don't move in until July 1st, so which is about a month and a week from today. So there's going to be a lot of changes you guys will see. You'll see a lot of changes in the background. Unfortunately, I'll still be recording from a closet, but it's going to be a much bigger one, and I'm going to be busy doing that because it does take a lot to get moved. Now, with that being said, is it going to impede my ability to do YouTube? No, it's not. Currently on the channel, I'm about 2 months ahead of myself, give or take, which is where I've been trying to put myself over the last couple of weeks. And it's just because, just in case I can't get a video out to you guys, I want to make sure I have something in the backlogs just to pump out. That way you guys don't miss content on the 3 that I put out per month. But with that being said, if you guys notice that I'm not as active over the next couple of weeks, that's the reason why. Now, I'm still going to be pumping out videos. You're still going to be getting shorts. It's just I won't be promoting them as much as I usually should because of that, because I may forget, I may be too busy. So this is where I'm going to need your guys' help to help feed the algorithm. Share it to wherever you can if you have a YouTube channel, or share it in a Discord that you may be part of. Share it on YouTube, share it on your Twitter, share it on your Facebook, wherever you can. Just help get it out there so that way we can reach a larger audience, because I want to continue to bring you guys the content that you guys like from me, and the only way for me to continue to do that that is to show that you guys are interested. So with that being said, we talked about some of the projects and the ideas that I have for summer, and we talked about what's going on in the background. I'm going to continue my What If I Wrote the Pokemon Anime and my What If Ash Won the Hoenn League exclusively on Patreon and YouTube channel members. My aim is to have those wrapped up by the end of the year or sometime after the first of the year, so they don't stay lingering, because I do want to get those out to YouTube eventually, and they're going to be part of my strategy to build up a catalog for you guys going into 2024, so that way you guys will always have something to see from the channel, and there will never be a dead week on the channel, because currently it's still just me doing all of the scripting, all the ideas, all of the voicing, all of the editing, so on and so forth, and it is very taxing with the load that I have in my personal life and my professional life. So I want to make sure that I can continue doing this, so I have to plan ahead as much as possible. With that being said, two major announcements that are going to be coming. The first one is I am going to be looking to work with a couple of part-time editors for the channel, somebody that can help with reasonable rates, that can help alleviate some of the video editing on my end once I get everything to them. Don't get me wrong, I like editing, but it's not exactly the one thing that I want to do all the time, and that's usually the last step in the process after I get the scripting and the voicing and all of the renders done for it. So if you guys are interested in possibly adding some videos to your catalog for a portfolio, or possibly working with me on a part-time basis, please reach out to me. I'll leave a link in the description below for a Google Drive to where you can sign up and leave your personal information, so that way we can potentially work together, because I think it'd be great to actually start working with somebody on a regular basis who can imitate my style and help me grow the channel and take some of the stuff off of my plate. Now, the second thing and the last thing we're going to talk about in this video is at some point in this summer, I'm going to be starting my first non-Pokemon What If. And if you guys know anything about me, you already know what the subject is going to be on, but I'm not going to say it in this video. It's something that I've been knocking back and forth with the idea on with Pickled Dill, and it's something that I've really come to enjoy the concept of, but it's not going to be for a couple of weeks. It probably won't be until after my move is complete, and I have a 2-week vacation in later July that I'm going to be on, so it's probably not even going to be until then, because there's a lot of moving parts in this particular What If that I want to do, and I want to do it right, so it's going to take some time to get off the ground, but that'll be something to look forward to. Anyway, thank you guys all for watching, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope that it answered some questions that you may have had. I really hope that you'll continue watching the content and that you guys will share the videos whenever they come out, even dropping a like, all that stuff, so that way we can help grow and I can help get to that goal of 15K by the end of the year. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.